Hey everybody, welcome back to Lettermen Row. It's time. It's the end of the week. It's bold predictions. I am Austin Ward, the reigning king of bold predictions after a dominant performance by Ohio State and me in the win over Penn State. That's Jeremy Birmingham and Spencer Holbrook, who just weren't as accurate as me, and that's got to be tough for them to take this week.
Yeah, I only called 3 touchdowns for Chris Olave. He only caught 2. I was definitely terrible. You and your how many touchdowns did you say Trey Sermon was going to score? I believe you doubled down and said he would score 6. So
no, I definitely didn't do that.
You said he was going to score 3 touchdowns. He scored none touchdowns. I said Chris Olave would score 3. He scored 2. Therefore, by my math, I am 66% better than you from a week ago, and I'm not sure where you could possibly argue that.
Because Marcus Hooker clinched the game with an interception.
Okay, that was your 4th prediction or something. So each prediction loses a touch of, weight to it. So if your primary prediction was so off, then the rest of your predictions don't get like extra credit.
Wow, I didn't know you were making the rules for this. I thought that I was in control.
Negative.
Spencer, did you get anything right last week?
I believe Ohio State rushed for 200 yards. That was
man.
prediction.
Well, that's not that bold.
No.
It was bold enough to get me some points. Second straight week I've gotten something right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I think that I win just because Marcus Hooker getting an interception was the most unlikely outcome. So that's a big win for me. Now let's get ready for the super exciting showdown, epic showdown, Ohio State, Rutgers in prime time. I know one of Berm's predictions already because he's stealing it from me. Go ahead.
Okay, number one, it can't be a steal if I didn't know that you were also thinking something along those lines. But my boldest prediction for the week is that Justin Fields will have equal to the same number of touchdowns created as CJ Stroud. So Justin Fields will lead the Buckeyes to 35 points in the first half, but there'll be a couple running touchdowns in there that he won't directly have led to. CJ Stroud is going to lead to 4 third-quarter touchdowns for Ohio State and be accountable for all of them. Therefore, he is going to emerge. Welcome.
I really like how inconsistent your math is on this bold prediction.
Yeah, he's emerging. So, but, I mean, no, because I'm saying he's going to throw for or run for 4 touchdowns in the third quarter, whereas Justin Fields may be on the field for 5 touchdowns, but he's not going to be directly responsible for all 5 of them.
Well, how many is he going to have?
3 or 4. I don't know. The prediction is that Stroud will have as many or more touchdowns accounted for than Fields.
Okay, very sneaky. Spencer, what do you got?
That's 63 points on the board for Berm. I'm just keeping track so he makes sure to have his prediction correctly when he does the score.
Yeah.
My bold prediction might ruffle some feathers here. My boldest prediction is that Joe Royer will catch a touchdown pass.
Whoa!
I think Ohio State will get these guys involved. I think the freshman wide receivers will catch plenty of passes. I think it's going to happen. But I think Ohio State found something with those tight ends, and they want to explore what the freshman quarterbacks can do in all facets. I think they're going to expand, show them what they can do on the field. And I think Joe Royer catches a touchdown pass. I think that's going to be a late touchdown.
They're going to skip right past Cade Stover and go all the way down to Joe Royer?
Well, I mean, Ohio State's going to score a lot of points. We've got a lot of garbage time.
We're in week 3. Chives finally promotes an actual bold prediction. So I'm for it. This is good news for everyone. This is good news for the program. Big win, boys.
I mean, wouldn't it have been bold even if he just stopped at Cade Stover and then he went one rung lower?
No, I mean, listen, as I said, man, like if you're going to go big. Like this is what we're dealing with here. These predictions aren't for the faint of heart. Whoa. Austin, let's hear yours.
Okay, well, here's the deal. Trey Sermon has not scored in the first 2 games. So this makes this a bold prediction. Trey Sermon is going to score 2 touchdowns this week against Rutgers to start building the momentum that I've been waiting for. I think that there have been signs. I know that, people have been wondering through 2 weeks, like, why has there been such a big deal about this guy? And, I think there were even a couple plays last week where it just looked like he wasn't entirely sure what he was supposed to do and some miscommunication on a screen or two. You know, I think that you can forget that there's a reason why not a lot of transfers always have instant success. It's a new system. It's a new place. He didn't have the normal, didn't have a spring, didn't have the normal training camp. I still believe that Trey Sermon will be able to take off. And I'm not, taking anything away from what Master Teague has done. I just think that this will be the week that things start going for him. He'll get more comfortable and it'll happen. And I will finally get credit for predicting him that he was going to score.
Welcome to LettermenRow.com's Old Predictions, hosted by Austin Ward. I mean, you make the same prediction every week.
Well, because we're making multiple predictions here.
It stops being bold. It starts to be a little moldy prediction.
What if Garrett Wilson returns a punt?
I mean, that's not in the cards this week.
Not this week?
Nope.
Garrett Wilson not corralling that punt at Rutgers really derailed the whole thing for me last year on the way to what I thought was the boldest score prediction I've ever made in my life. And
that's indisputable. You said they were going to score 91 points.
They were on the way. It was 21-0 at that point. Like 7 minutes had gone by. It felt like they were going to get 100. I was going to be on the conservative side. It would have been a weak prediction, only having 91.
Yeah. Okay. But you have to understand, we as a group need to understand collectively. Remember that time, like weeks and weeks and weeks ago when Ohio State played Nebraska, and there was this conversation around whether or not Ryan Day was going to kind of take it easy on Scott Frost because of the offseason and the way that the bromance there that's developed, and then he apologized for scoring a touchdown that he should never have apologized for.
Right.
Remember when that happened?
That did happen, yeah.
Now, this week, Ohio State is playing against Rutgers, which is coached by Greg Schiano, who is one of Day's mentors and was a major, major part of Ryan's ascension to the throne in Columbus. There's no way Ohio State's going to go out there and try to score 80 points plus this week against Greg Schiano.
I don't know about that, Berm, because there are a bunch of people still on this team who are around for the worst statistical defense in school history. And I know for a fact, and you do too, that there were players on that 2018 defense who were threatening to transfer or willing to transfer if there wasn't a change made on the defensive side.
I'm not suggesting that the defense isn't going to come out with their hair on fire. What I'm saying is that in the third and fourth quarter, when those extra 35 points could happen, I don't think you're going to see Ohio State doing much other than running the ball, which is why I'm leading into prediction number 2. Steel Chambers actually is going to score 3 touchdowns this week. 3 touchdowns for Steel Chambers. One of them is going to be in the first half.
Look at you guys just trading blows here. Joe Royer and Steel Chambers just going after it. 2 of the favorite children of the Ohio State beat.
Steel Chambers ran the ball like a different type of dude in week 1, and he didn't get to play last week. And I think that he's going to get a lot of run this weekend. I think he is a player that can be a dynamic player out of the backfield. And I think that one of his touchdowns will be a receiving touchdown from CJ Stroud. And that's where I'm at. 1, 2, 3 para Steel.
So wait, you gave him 1 because it's a receiving touchdown because you said that CJ Stroud was going to have 4.
Yep.
So that's 2 more rushing touchdowns. So the second half is going to include, what is that now, Spencer?
Okay,
70 points. It's 70 points is where it's going to end.
Justin Fields is going to score 35. I'm writing it down, actually. CJ Stroud is going to score, did you say 4 touchdowns, Berm? So 28. And then Steel Chambers is going to have 14 on his own. What are we doing here? Like you said, they're going to take it easy. I
didn't say Justin Fields. No.
You said they were going to score 35.
I said they were going. I didn't say Justin Fields was going to score 35 in the first half. I said the Buckeyes would.
You said he would be on the field for 35 points, and then you said CJ Stroud would be on the field for 28 points,
correct.
And then you just said Steel Chambers was going to have 2 more touchdowns on top of that rushing.
I didn't say 2 more, sir.
Yes,
no,
you said 2 rushing touchdowns.
You guys are misinterpreting what I'm saying is happening in the first half. I said Justin Fields was going to be on the field for 35 points. I didn't say how many he was going to account for. Right, I said that CJ Stroud would account
total.
Right.
So are you saying that Steel Chambers is going to score in the first half?
Wait a second. See, now we see Chives. It clicked for Chives.
Steel Chambers will score in the first half, apparently.
Right.
So
that's an extra bold prediction right there.
Twice.
You should have specified that. I assumed that Trey Sermon.
Listen, this isn't. I don't need to explain myself to use.
Yes, you do. That's the entire point of these shows.
I don't buy that at all. So anyway, 3 touchdowns for Steel Chambers.
Tell us what else is in your brain.
I think you'll see Ryan Watts and Lathan Ransom work themselves in a little bit in the first half. Maybe that's not bold, just because they're going to be working on depth. But I think it's going to be key to get those guys on the field in the first half when they're meaningful reps against Big Ten players, if you can say that. But I think it is important to get those guys some run in the first half. So I'm going to say Ryan Watts, Lathan Ransom, they've looked the most impressive through 2 games. I think they're going to be on the field in the first half.
Ohio State is going to score 2 defensive touchdowns in this game. I believe that one of them will come by a Josh Proctor pick 6, and a second will come on a Tough Borland fumble recovery for a touchdown. It'll be a strip sack by Jonathan Cooper, loose ball, Tough Borland. It'll be roughly 27 yards, I think. Not sure if that qualifies as bold enough for you, Berm, but 2 defensive touchdowns.
That one's very bold.
In a very interesting way.
That one's very bold. I like it. I'm going to curtail myself at 3 total bold predictions on this episode. Okay. So here's my final one. And I, too, agree that there will be a defensive touchdown scored by Brendan White against the Buckeyes.
Wow.
Oh, my.
There you go. How about that, sports fans?
Well, who's going to be guilty of the turnover?
I'm going to actually say it's a Justin Fields fumble in the first half.
Oh, my goodness. I did not see that coming.
Bold, buddy. I'm not here to play around.
Well, that is bold, boys. All right, Spencer.
My last bold prediction is that there will be a safety in this game. No clue where, no clue how, no clue when. There will be a safety.
There's always going to be a safety on the field. That's how
he just said Josh Proctor is going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
I just said Brendan White's going to. So there's at least 2 safeties we know of.
Man, a dad and a stepdad making those kind of jokes. Would have never saw that coming.
Hey,
there will be a 2-point safety in this game. It's one of those games that's too weird for it not to have something like that. So I'm just going to throw it out there. Ohio State's got pretty good special teams. You could see Rutgers on the 1-yard line, and obviously Ohio State's defense is going to want to get a safety, or something weird could happen, like holding in the end zone, something that I don't know. I'm just thinking 2 points somewhere.
Cat dad going at it.
Yeah, I guess
I like cats, by the way. I do like cats.
Yeah, that's disturbing. I'm just going to keep with my old predictions and recycle again. It has to happen at some point. Garrett Wilson is due. He's going to take a punt return back. He's going to be really motivated to make up for the muff last season, I think. He's ready. And it counts, Berm. Don't shake your head at me.
I can't believe you keep just making up the same things every week.
Well, it's gonna pay off when I get all 3 of them right at the same time. And then what will you say?
I'm going to say kudos to you, bro.
Okay, let's see if Berm did his math right. What is your final score prediction for Saturday night, 7:30 in the horse?
Ohio State 70, Rutgers 13.
Does that math check out, Spencer?
I believe it does, as long as Steele gets those touchdowns in the first half.
Okay, good. What have you cooked up?
This is actually a really weird one. I'm going to go 62-12 because there's going to be a touchdown for Rutgers, a field goal for Rutgers, and then the safety.
He had to make sure that he accounted for the safety.
62-12, Ohio State wins.
Boy, you guys have a lot of faith in Greg Schiano.
Okay, but you just turned your previous prediction on its head, because now you're saying exactly which team is going to record the safety.
Well, you have to, when you do a score prediction, you have to say the safety goes
I don't know that you do, because you are the one who said, I'm going to predict a safety. I don't know when, I don't know where, I don't know for who. And now you're saying for Rutgers, they're going to have a safety against Ohio State. You went into this whole diatribe about how the Ohio State special teams will put Rutgers on the 1 yard line, and now you're saying that it's actually going to be Rutgers who scores the safety.
Okay, either 64-10 or 62-12. There we
You
go.
don't get two score predictions, Spencer.
Okay, I think Ohio State's going to win 35-17 or 49-6 or 58-13 or 70-13 or 84-21.
Got it. 6 different score predictions from Berm, 2 from Spencer. I only need 1. It's 84-0. Maybe this Greg Schiano effect has them 7 points better in my mind than a year ago. Smash the cover.
Last year it was 56-21 in Ohio State's closest game of the year outside of Florida Atlantic.
This year there is a smaller window. There's fewer opportunities to play the young guys. You have to take advantage of that if you're Ryan Day and Ohio State. You can't be worried about Greg Schiano's feelings or hurting your mentor's feelings. Nick Saban doesn't do that when he's going against his old assistants. He punishes them.
Who's Nick Saban's mentor?
Well, whatever.
The devil?
His old coaching buddies. I don't really believe
when Nick Saban plays the devil, okay, he's not in a position to take it easy on him.
Okay, but I don't really believe that Greg Schiano is Ryan Day's mentor.
He's one of the guys who was very instrumental. Now, I get he's not like on the same level as Chip Kelly or even at this point probably Kevin Wilson would be, but I do think
Urban Meyer?
Urban Meyer's not a coach, okay, bud?
That makes him even more of a mentor.
Figure it out. Figure it out.
Anyway, my point is you can't take – if you missed all those non-conference games, you have a shorter schedule, it doesn't hurt you to play the freshmen. You have to take advantage of that. So when you're talking about C.J. Stroud throwing for touchdowns, that's not taking it easy. That's running the offense.
You're right. But what you are not accounting for is the fact that these freshmen didn't have all the other playing time. So they're not going to come in and play a perfect game.
Well, they don't have to. They're playing against Rutgers.
Rutgers will not be shut out on Saturday. That is a super bold prediction you're making. The boldest of all the bolds, because I don't know if you watched the Buckeye defense in the second half on Saturday night, but they were a little bit not great. And if you watched the Buckeye defense when they played Nebraska and they brought in the second teamers against Nebraska, it was also not great. There is certainly need to play those younger guys, but to expect them to come in and hold a shutout, no, sir. No, sir. They're going to score 1 defensive touchdown, Brendan White, and 2 field goals. Therefore, 70-13 Buckeyes.
I didn't know that Ohio State's backups needed to do more than just give up 1 field goal in the second half against Nebraska. I'm sorry they didn't meet your standard.
Hey, man, I have lofty expectations.
Clearly. But you don't hold Rutgers to it. You just think that they're wild overachievers, and I won't stand for it.
I believe in anyone who's plucky, okay? I'm a big fan of plucky folks.
Okay, Burn can chop wood on Saturday. I'm going to roll 84-0, and all of my bold predictions are going to be right because I am the king of this show, and I will be enjoying the fruits of my labor next Friday ahead of the Maryland game. Not to get ahead of things because I got to get these right first, 1 game at a time. That's Birmingham and Spencer Holbrook. I'm Austin Ward. This has been Bold Predictions at Lettermen Row. Stay with us all year for full coverage of the Buckeyes at lettermenrow.com.